This video essay is a personal opinion of mine on the Indian fashion history. So let's go. The period we're gonna talk about is the Vedic age. It's generally known as Mahajanpada's age. There are a variety of sources of hard evidence to supplement the literary ones. The Mahajanpada's period can be understood from representation in sculptures and paintings. The variety of textile used for clothing across this time. The basic remained the same. Cotton for the commoners, and the other finer and more expensive type of clothes for the rich. Textiles were dyed and printed. Resist dyeing and hand printing has been mentioned by Megasthenes as a common sight during the modern period. Interweaving of silk and cotton and silver wires in beautiful patterns was common long before the moderns and used for covering both the lower body and the upper body. Now for the clothes themselves. Both men and women wore the lower body cloth or antarya and the upper body cloth called the uttarya. The antarya was secured at the waist with a sash or kaya band. These were the three basic items of clothing, but jewelry was used in abundance. Since the clothing can be described by using a few basic categories, figures from the Maurya and Sunga period can be used to generally understand dress in ancient India. The sketch is of a modern Sunga figure from Barhat and fairly illustrates the basics of male dressing in Jambudipa for many centuries. This figure shows the clothing of a rich person or from a royal person or Seth. There were variations of far other sections of society. Uttarya. The upper part of the body was draped with a long unstitched cloth either along the shoulder, over one shoulder, or as wear as a fancy. Ushnisha. This was a turban, the moli or the later pagdi, which could be tied up with the long hair of a wearer or be used just a piece of a cloth wound in many different ways around the head. Antarya. This was an unstitched piece of a cloth worn around the waist, again in many styles, dhoti or other styles, where the cloth was wrapped around the waist and then on one end brought up between the legs and tucked in for great convention is shown here. It is pleated in macha valakka or fishtail style. Kaya band, a cloth wrapped around the waist. Here is the kala baku or sash with many strings. Jewelries. Man wore jewelries around their necks, arms and across the chest. Apart from kundals in the ear and the waist belts of gold or silver around the waist, this figure wear the baju or armlet, kangan on each wrist as well as karnika in the ear and a lamban bun or long necklace around the neck. He also wear a short kantha har. Female dressing. Uttarya. As in male dressing, the uttarya was worn across the upper part of the body. It could be even wrapped across the head with other one across the shoulder or arm. Here the figure wears printed cotton uttarya across on the head. Choli or cholakka. This was an optional blouse worn on the upper part of the body with or without a little apron in front in later years. During Vedic times, a pratidhi or breast band was worn straight or crosswise across the breast. Antarya. Here are many styles of wearing this, like kacha style with the ends stakes up between the legs of fine cotton with fluted ends in the front. The fishtail or macha valakka style, the fan shaped talavantaka and the four pointed chaturnakha and the multiple folded sattavalika, where some of the other styles were wearing the antaryas. The Bhairavi Namasini was the one of the earliest style, a turbal cloth held up in gather around the waist by a girdle. The lehenga style, in which the antarya is wrapped like a skirt across the hips, is the popular even today. Kaya band and mehkala. These were worn around the waist and former of a cloth and the latter a piece of beautiful jewelry. Jewelry. The Indian love for jewelry and the gold is attested by Megasthenes in 4th century. The head and the hair, chest, neck, arm, wrist, fingers, waist, leg and feet all had distinctive and unique pieces of jewelry to decorate them. There were many varieties of these were made using silver, gold, copper, beads, precious and semi-precious stones with specific significance. Head. The sitara was an ornament worn on the forehead made of gold or precious stones. The kirta is similar to a crown or a tiara. The princess wear a lotus-shaped hair ornament of a gold with petals studded with pearls and precious stones, the churamani. Ears. There were other styles of ear ornamentation such as jhumki, the kanaka kamala, kanchala, karnika, kundala, pravatra and talapatra among others. Fingers. The finger have one simple angulia or ring, but there were other rings such as arsi or ratna angulia studded with precious stones. Neck. There were many styles of necklace like long one to the stomach and the short one to the chest. They were made up of coins, gold, silver, precious stones, etc. In ancient India, people wore clothes according to their position and role in society. This short exposition is but an introduction to the complexities of clothes in ancient India. Some common features across space and time can be discerned. A very important feature is the gender neutrality of a basic dress. The varieties of twists given to the dress by a woman or a man cannot hide the fact that the three items of a dress, the uttaraya, antaraya and the kayaband, were common to both the sexes. The same unstitched piece of the cloth could be worn equally by the man or a woman. So this was the research on Indian fashion history.